Welcome to Critical Misses. I am Tom T.P. Grant. I use he, him pronouns, and I am very excited to welcome you all to Beyond the Twilight Road. We are playing Zweihander tonight, and before we get to any recaps or anything like that, let's go around and meet our wonderful cast, starting off to my left with Julio. Julio, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, my name is Julio. You can find me at Poppy Chomplu all over the internet. You can find me. I'm there. My character tonight will be Canario. He is a rough and tumble doctor who's traveling down the Twilight Road for the 100th time. He's a working man, so this isn't his first time here.
Moving on down to Velvet. Velvet, how are you doing tonight?
I have been awake for over 50 hours, so I'm golden. I'm Velvet. I use favorite pronouns. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar. I'll be playing Maeve Baylor, who also uses fair pronouns. Just a disciple of the Wild Hunt.
And moving on over to Kelsey. Kelsey, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm Kelsey. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at crochet_baby and on other places. I'll get to that at the end. Tonight, I will be playing Twilight Harper, a small angry book nerd who seems to be causing more and more problems as every minute passes.
Maybe. Moving on over. Faye. Faye, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
Doing well. Who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Zia, and I myself use they, Faye, or she pronouns, and Zia uses they, them pronouns, but I am terrible at pronouns, and I'm sorry. And you can find me at Almost Faye on the internet, everywhere.
Moving on up to Anna. Anna, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm Anna. I'm Nymeria941 most places on the internet, and I'd like to formally apologize, but I've been saving my channel points for a Bane because I hate myself. So I went ahead and redeemed that tonight. And tonight I will be playing Agnieszka, who is our horned Grendel bard with a little something extra tonight, and that's not just the third eye. So we'll see.
Is it bad taste for the GM to redeem channel points for Banes? I feel like that's in bad taste.
Insider trading.
I mean, it's like, why would you have to do that? Because you already have a player that's willing to just be like, hey.
Yeah.
You also, it won't let me redeem a Bane, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I see we've got a boon and a Bane, so that's gonna be fun. All right, so we are playing Zweihander tonight, a dark fantasy geared game. Our players have been traveling down the Twilight Road. They reached the town of Tald, which was a completely normal small town in the middle of a creepy dark wood, and nothing weird or creepy was happening there. In the last episode, it was attacked by a herd of Grendel. And during the battle that ensued, the party supported the small town militia that stood up and fought off the Grendel. During that battle, it seemed that this was very unexpected on their part, that this is something that did not happen frequently. There were indications that some of the players picked up on with some really good education and folklore roles that potentially a deity of undeath known as the Golden Forge is at work here, as it seemed that some of the Grendel were undead. Some of them were bearing symbols that could have been associated with that. After the defense was concluded, the town began to look for a reason why, as some of them put it, the agreement had been broken. And, well, a friend of B's volunteered them all as scapegoats, as it was revealed that they left the road by Farron, the elf bard who saw the party returning from the road on their little nighttime jaunt off the road. There was a trial held by the local lord in which a wizard of the Amber Wind intervened on the party's behalf, a magister named Rothbard. It was determined the party was likely not to blame, but when it was revealed that they were shown favor by the White Stag, mood very suddenly shifted, and Rothbard was able to negotiate the party being sent into the woods to the shrine village of Tall in the forest. And we left off with the party making their final preparations to leave as Rothbard saw them to the edge of the forest, unable to accompany them as he is staying behind to make sure that Lord Brune does not grow bored and set off into the woods to hunt you within a couple hours of your departure. You have been instructed to travel into the woods headed east until you hit a ridgeline. And at the base of that ridgeline is a small creek, and to follow that creek north into wetlands. And as you move into the wetlands, there will be an island in the wetlands, or a raised area of ground in which you will find a small village within the woods, in which those who keep the old ways of Tall live in better harmony with the woods and the fae of the forest. And as we prepare to set out into the woods, you find yourselves standing on the edge of the Twilight Wood. The immediacy of the wood is what stands out first. You stand there at the edge of what is essentially a huge meadow, and it is a jarring transition to thick, deep forest. The light dies out very, very quickly, and moving into the forest, you move into almost instant twilight as the sun has trouble breaking through the canopy. And you all are beginning your journey into the Twilight Woods. And for this initial bit, we're actually going to have to do a bit of meta talk here, as I'm going to be implementing one of the mechanics that Zweihander has for overland travel. We need someone who potentially trained in the art of navigation or in the skill of navigation to attempt to figure out the general direction while in the woods that you were indicated to go. Since Rothbard gave you pretty good directions, I'm going to give you a +10 on that navigation. So is anyone in this party trained in navigation?
Hello.
Oh.
I also have the talent, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Azimuth?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can see the stars, I know which direction true north is at all times.
It's going to get tricky when you're in the woods, but I'm going to say because of azimuth, we can make this this roll +20 to navigation.
Okay.
So roll me a +20 for navigation.
I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4. Well, B, please start us off. How do you direct the party into the woods?
So I check my little notebook, and I look around the other trees, and I look up, and then I just start walking with the assumption that the rest of them are going to follow me.
Who among you would be the first to follow B?
Oh, I'll follow right behind as soon as we have a direction.
Yeah. So B and Mabe immediately set off into the Twilight Wood. The rest of you following, I assume?
Yeah, I'm watching our back.
Very good. Now, as you get into the woods, you know the direction you need to go, but one of you needs to pick out the path of least resistance, the path of ease of travel, to make things less arduous on the rest of the party. I need someone to roll me a survival check.
Ooh. Not me.
I'm not trained in it, but I could do it because I have really good perception now.
Okay. So
is anybody trained in it? No? Okay.
Roll us a survival check then.
58, and I needed to beat a 53.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use a fortune point because
using that fortune point.
Well, these dice are going in the trash because I just rolled a 93.
That's all right. I love that you have that right there.
Yeah, well, I use it really frequently, funnily enough.
So, As you all move into the woods, it is.
Oh,
what's up?
sorry. Wait 1 second, though. This might be a weird question, but is there any way that I could smell our way through the woods?
This is more about picking out like paths to walk. So sorry.
Not all the people.
It's not Agnieszka's fault, as the woods are incredibly thick and the ground is uneven. There are really paths.
Mm-hmm.
So the going is very slow. The going is very hard. And as you're all moving along, at this point, I'm going to hand the floor to some of you. For the first several hours of travel, I'm going to start with, let's start going around with Canario. Canario, how do you pass the first hour or two of travel, as it is difficult and uncertain footing as you're moving through these woods?
Very cautiously. He is kind of keeping an eye out. Having been on the Twilight Road quite often, he's never really been off of it like this. So he's playing it very carefully.
Would you say Canario is kind of acting as the party's scout, potentially?
In a way, slowly. He's moving as slow as he can.
Okay.
Maybe if he can do like an extended test.
Ooh. Make me a stealth roll real quick. Actually, let's not go stealth. Let's make me a awareness check.
Awareness.
Mm-hmm.
That is under perception. Oh, not a successful 31 out of 53.
All right. So you are moving out and are very, very aware of the fact that, number one, there are shapes moving between the trees. They are off to the sides in your peripherals. They disappear as quickly as you look at them. Occasionally, you see a tree moving unnaturally as if to follow you for a second. Everything in this forest seems to have eyes. The birds calling seem to perch and watch you go by in an eerie way. Everything about this forest screams that you are unwelcome.
Oh, this forest is quite wonderful, if I may say so myself. Anyone else get the feeling that we're being watched? Perhaps we should stick close together. We wouldn't want to get snatched up by any of these thick trees.
Yes, no wandering off to investigate strange lights this time.
He kind of shoots a glance over at Twillaby. That sounds like a great idea.
Willoughby notices the glance, but doesn't say anything.
Maeve was expecting everyone to look at Faye. So if Faye notices them looking at Twillaby, Faye will also just look at Twillaby.
As you move through, the woods continue to be quite arduous, and I need everybody to roll me a toughness test at -10.
Ooh.
As the day begins to wear on.
Who's ready for failure?
Oh. Ooh, 19 out of
19.
31.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Did anyone fail?
Yes, I rolled a 90.
I need everyone who failed to roll me a D10 plus 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 98 over 28. So.
Ooh, at least it wasn't a crit fail, but ouch.
So take your D10, whatever you roll plus 1. That is how much peril is put on you from this journey. It is a very difficult try.
I rolled a 0 this time.
That's a 10.
Yes! That's a 10.
That's a 10.
Oh, damn.
No.
It is.
Yeah.
You got so excited.
Mine's a 6. Does anything happen if it's under my peril threshold?
If it's under your peril threshold, you weather it. It is uncomfortable. It is unpleasant, but you bear it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I wound up with too.
So I just moved down one level then?
Yep, you are imperiled. And as you continue to move, and it continues to be, again, just not, you're moving through thickets, you're moving through around trees. Z, who do you walk beside as you go through this forest? Who do you speak to? What do you do with this travel?
I think Zia would probably stay close to Agnieszka because drinking buddies.
Yeah.
What else do you think that we could turn into alcohol? We never got to go to the orchard, and I'm still pissed.
I'm disappointed about that too, especially because it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to go back there anytime soon. Well, technically, you can make anything into vodka depending on who you ask. So I'm sure we could find some kind of weird root vegetable growing. Just don't leave the side of the road like by yourself, because we literally just had to tell B and Maeve not to do that. And like,
Tree sap.
yes. Yeah.
Payback for earlier and alcohol.
Agnieszka's into it. Me is just like, oh god, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
But they're just like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's make liquor out of tree sap. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
I don't know
Kelsey.
about that.
This is probably loud enough that you guys could possibly hear.
Yeah.
We're not being subtle about it.
We're not, no.
What about mushrooms? Could we turn a red cap into booze?
Probably not. They don't really like distill really well. I've tried. You just sort of have to eat them as they are or dry them. Which...
We will be doing nothing of the sort.
Please
Have
don't
we not learned
eat
our
the
lesson?
mushrooms.
Oh, that's up to
Please
personal
don't eat
preference.
the plants.
What if we grind the mushrooms up into a powder and like sprinkle it on top of the drinks, like fancy?
I tell you what, I have some that I know are good. I would be willing to try that. I don't know that I would be willing to try ones off of the road here. Like tree sap is one thing that seems exciting. That seems like it's going to be a fun time. But mushrooms?
I'm more down for murdering a red cap
Same.
and then using the red cap to make alcohol.
We could potentially mix that with goblin blood. And then they just look over and see Canario like listening in on this conversation. Is like, goblin blood, and just sort of trails off like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be talking about
It's
this
best
in
you
front of
stop
them.
that plan right now. Thank you.
Think of it less of a plan and more of like one of these hypothetical thought experiment things she's always talking about, like
Yes.
a philosophical debate.
We'll philosophically debate the idea of traveling sober right now.
No.
Because potentially these trees can kill us, and we've seen that firsthand already. I'm not sure if you want to be killed by a tree. Or do you?
I'm not really sure either.
To be fair, they both did pretty well not sober in the last fight. So if we have to throw hands at the tree, I kind of like the odds.
Wallaby.
I did take alcohol. I did take blood from those weird things. Oh no, Grendels. Sorry, you're a Grendel too. Shit.
I mean, it's okay. And then just like gestures back at the giant horns from the one that I like disavowed. The like, really no love lost between them and me, honestly. Yeah, it's kind of weird, you know? Humans kill a lot of humans. Grundle do the same. Shit happens.
Could we powder their horn?
No, because I want them as they are to decorate my eventual castle where I live someday.
Could I take a small sliver of the horn and powder it?
Maybe. Let's see how the vodka experiment goes first.
Yeah.
Before we mess with my beautiful, beautiful Minotaur trophy.
And Canario, you can't stop us if you don't know when we're doing it. And
It's true. Can't stay awake forever.
Zia would smirk and show Agnieszka like the little vial of goblin blood that they still have.
And as you do that, Agnieszka just winks sideways, but with the third eye. It's just weird. It's a sideways eye that's like, whoomp.
Other idea. Do you think we could start a cult?
Okay, that's enough.
Why? Religious?
I mean, we already have people here that are like religious and stuff. They know how this works. We could start a rival cult and take over the town.
If we live long enough.
Yeah. Undead are seeming to have fun here as well, so we're pretty good.
Oh, gosh.
Aren't you glad you're traveling with us, Canario?
Thrilled.
Canario, as you all move along, you notice what appears to be a slight clearing up ahead. And you see what appears to be a perfectly circular pool of water.
Well, if that's not ominous, there is a clearing up ahead with a strangely circular pool of water. Can I scrutinize?
Are you, this would be, scrutinizes, yeah, go ahead, go for it. That's like investigation sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's aware of the Fey bullshit, so seeing something so perfectly round, he's just like,
Yeah.
I would like to smell it if I can without touching it. I just want to.
I rolled 19 again.
19.
Wow.
As you approach and you're coming up on it, you can see that it is perfectly, it is a perfectly like spherical body of water. And it is still, except you see in one part of it, a figure. What appears to be a humanoid form, moving about in it, almost as if bathing. Agnieszka, you smell, it smells like wonderful rose petals, flowery, enticing, and very, very sweet. And as you get a bit closer, you can see that the figure in the water is femme and is completely nude, appears to be bathing, and turns and sees all of you. No attempt to cover up, nothing, just smiles and says, "Hello."
Pardon.
No, by all means. Who are you?
Can I make a quick education check and see if I know anything about the circular, like the
Yes.
kind of significance there?
Oh.
Henry, could I folklore this? Will Toolby being a nerd?
Let's see what. Uh-oh.
I did not pass that.
Oh.
They didn't cover this in school. I will allow folklore test also.
I was going to say, I think I know what this is.
Is it?
Can I also make a folklore check?
Let's see how Mabe does. And
That's a 16.
16.
Ooh.
You have heard of some fae who hang about in pools of water, in forests, who tend to be quite attractive, and none of the stories end particularly well.
Is she handing out swords?
She does not appear to be handing out swords. That's like the Southern fae thing.
Yeah.
That's like the summer court thing.
She's, more like handing out, strangling you, and then feasting upon your corpse and using it to create little babies that then go populate the rest of the woods.
So negative take on what she does.
And yet, I am unmoved.
Yeah.
She asked for our name?
Yes. And who are you?
Well, they call me the Butcher.
Oh.
So I take care not to push too hard. if you understand my saying.
Oh my, you brought friends as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna start a
Acquaintances?
tavern made of fey blood on tap.
Say that again.
So we're starting that way. Okay, cool.
Jesus
Just making sure.
Christ!
Just making sure we're coming in hot.
Oh my god!
What did she? I didn't hear that actually.
Zia was like, yeah, and I'm starting a tavern. I'm getting yelled at. I'm gonna start a tavern with fey blood on tap.
You
She
just
pauses, just kind of looking at all of you and just being like, "You're all no fun."
I think you'll find them very much fun. Have
Really?
you tried goblin blood? It's great.
No, I'd be happy to though.
Okay. Zia would offer her a bit of the vial of goblin blood.
I
Take it. And it's been quite a while since I've gotten a taste of goblin.
Good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
My friend, what did I tell you about giving gifts without, any bargains?
I got told don't take gifts. Nothing about giving gifts.
Well, now I owe you something.
I'm gonna lean over and just say very quietly to Zia, you could always just ask for them to leave us alone.
You don't owe me anything.
Oh, but I do. She just leans in a little closer and she goes, go ahead and name it.
Can myself and my friends pass safely?
Yes,
That is kind of boring, I know.
it rather is.
We did piss off a lord from a town next door that might be coming to try and kill us later. You could have fair game on him and his people.
No, he already knows. Though sometimes the people he sends into the forest prove to be quite fun.
There is also a caravan coming. And the leader of that caravan kind of owes me some money.
We don't go onto the road.
Oh, damn.
I assume the Lord sent you all out into here.
No.
And she kind of like sinks back into the water and something changes about her. It is the texture of her skin becomes almost like bark. This is like very Mystique from X-Men, but now just like instead of it being blue, like brown, as takes on a very tree-like appearance. Is sitting in there and goes, you come into the woods, but you are not of the town and you are not in violation of the agreement. What are you doing here? You all are very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's our business alone. And, well, seems a deal has been made. Have a good one. That's kind of hard. It just tries to, like, usher everyone past.
It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you as well. And is going to just lock eyes with Maeve as Maeve's going by and just, like, kind of give a little, like, wave and lip bite.
I'm going to drop one of my shiny Winter King things.
Handing out pamphlets.
I've been kind of doing like the Hansel and Gretel, just ditching them as I go.
Yes. As you walk by, she just shouts after you and she goes, you have the smell of the Earl King on you.
What did you just say?
He has the smell, or sorry, Fair has the smell of the Earl King.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not sense it?
I do. I just wonder what it is that would make a forest nymph of some kind be so fixated on that.
You know, it's nice that you care enough to... Have you all seen Euro King? Everybody is looking for him. The sisters, the newcomer, everybody.
Why?
You all wanted your gift to be to pass. You may pass. For information, I require another gift.
Since I have my new crow mask, I'll offer her the old one.
Who do you think taught the people of the village to make those? It was us, the people of the forest.
It's a trophy from the Wild Hunt.
No. Oh, don't worry. You'll find out plenty about the Wild Hunt.
I'm gonna lean over to Agnieszka a little bit and ask, how badly do you want this information?
Pretty badly.
And then I'm gonna reach into my bag and I'm gonna pull out one of the olives, and I'm gonna hand it to Agnieszka.
That's interesting. Who's gonna offer the olive?
I handed it to Agnieszka because Agnieszka is the one that wants the information.
Yeah, but you made it, so I don't know if. I mean, I don't mind handing it over. It's just that I don't know if that then means. I don't know if that means she gets a hold of her use as technically you made it, because this is different. Yeah, I'll take it and hold it out as like a.
Give me a bargain check.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Bargain. No, fail. 42 over 39.
So close.
He's failing by the slimmest little margins ever.
Potentially, but she turns to be, it's nice work, but if you're going to offer magical food to a creature who can, and she like kind of waves an arm and causes some plants to like spring from her hands.
Just realizing how very few things of value I have ever owned in my life.
I have an idea.
I'm gonna.
Would you like? Oh, sorry, Pete.
Oh, I was gonna take the olive back and just kind of hold it and look at it and say, "Is the luck of a beginner worth anything?"
Ooh, would you please elaborate on that?
Oh no.
This olive was one of the first things I made.
Roll me another bargain check. It's going to be at a -10 because you've already offered it once, but
Okay.
you have the interest.
Okay. All right, this is not a very high bar. Okay.
No.
42 over 27, so no.
Looks over at Agnieszka and Maeve and just a bit. Maybe a kiss. Just
I'm just
one
gonna
little
put
kiss.
the olive back in my bag.
That's enough now. Have a good one. Let's go.
I have an offer.
Yes.
And while Z was offering the olive, Zia would have pulled out one of her little vials
Mm-hmm.
and like pricked her finger and put some of her blood into it.
What are you doing? No!
When Zia says, I have
Love it.
something, Kanaro gives Zia the look of like a mom just like telling the kid, I'm gonna whoop your ass in the car. It's like,
What do you got there? A knife! No! Did you
Wait,
seriously
what could
offer
happen?
the blood already? Did you already offer it?
They're holding it in their hand to offer it.
Fuck.
They haven't physically handed it over yet.
That. All right. Are you handing it to her? Because she will take that.
They're gonna hold it and just. Would this get the information that we want?
Oh. Yes, it would.
Okay.
Zia.
Takes it, pops it open, and just like eye contact the whole way, drinks it. Little bit comes out, licks it. All right, ask your questions. I'll answer 3. That seems fair. I'll give you time to pick your questions if you want.
Anybody else is like free to jump in and do stuff as well, because I have things that I'm curious about, but I also don't want to be like, yeah, you gave your blood, now these questions are all mine, you know? So
Zia's literally just looking at you like, you wanted information, right? Please,
Yeah.
Please say you wanted information.
what do you...
The only question I can think of is one you already tried to ask, so I'm happy with that one.
Which was the
why are they looking for the Earl King?
yeah, why are they looking for the Earl King?
Why are they?
Who would willingly go looking for something like that?
Well. It's the time for the wild hunt. But the sisters called in a favor on the Earl King. The Earl King is trapped. He's trapped in his current form.
Okay. Tell me what you know of the Twilight Court.
Oh, yes, you definitely belong among the Fae. The Twilight Court belongs to the Twilight Sisters, of course, and encompasses this region, this wood. I believe the humans call it the Damarang, something awkward like that. The Twilight Woods. They have dominion here from the Fae.
Dominion over what?
The woods, everything that isn't the road.
That's new.
The twins are the head of the Twilight Court. It was given to them by the Queen of Air and Darkness herself. Delilah and Naira are the twins. And in this wood are the denizens of the Twilight Court, the goblins, the tree folk, the elves who've chosen to come back into touch with their roots, we'll say. The Grendel, who are in uproar.
Could I get the names of those two again, just because I was writing stuff down?
It's Dahlia and Naira. I'm going to throw that.
Okay.
I'll throw that in chat for you. Those are the two sisters. And Agnieszka, these are names that you have heard before.
Yeah.
You are familiar with these two, as they are high-ranking members of the Dominion of Winter.
Yep. Yeah.
The Queen of Air and Darkness does not deem to be on the material plane. That is beneath her. She remains in the etheric realm, and she sends underlings to watch the holdings of Winter in the material plane. And these are two of the higher ranked amongst those.
Just for the sake of repeating, who was it that you said that was getting back in touch with their roots? Was that the twins?
There are elves that rejoin the Fae, as the elves in the world are universally without a home. They've scattered throughout the world, and some are trying to reconnect with the Fae, so they return to Fae courts and serve, swearing oaths of allegiance. So there are elves in these woods who are essentially becoming kind of wood elfy. They choose to become Fae, essentially. Is that sufficient for your second question? Is there anything more you would like from that? It was rather broad.
Well, you'll forgive me if I don't ask one of my fellow kin a very specific question, I think. What was that, Zia?
Would you be so kind to give us your name?
No. You don't just go handing out your true name.
I thought it would be worth it. I thought you might have been more fun.
Spend a little time with me here in the pool, and I will give you my name.
I don't swing that way, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
Oh, well,
last question from me.
Yes.
To whom have the people of the forest sworn their fealty?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I'm getting mixed messages.
That is a very interesting question. Because the newcomer has thrown a wrench into everything, has disrupted the balance, and tried to create her own court. There is tension in the woods. The Grendel and the goblins have declared for the newcomer. The elves stay with the sisters, and the tree folk have stood aside.
And where does that leave you in all of this?
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
Just means you'll cast your lot in with whatever the winning side is once that becomes clear, I suppose.
And as long as the woods are here, I will be here. And as long as travelers come through my pool, I will be entertained. Three questions asked and 3 answers given.
Well, I have nothing more to do here, so...
That's deeply unfortunate.
It was lovely meeting you.
It was lovely meeting all of you. I would, of course, extend an offer to stay to any of you.
And we won't take it. Have a good one.
Just leans back on a tree it's on the edge of the pool and literally sinks into it with just a pout on her face as you all leave.
Love that level of petty. Right, so she's definitely got her mark on you, Zia.
Perhaps some ground rules while traveling here. Maybe don't, I don't know, give the Fae something as important as your blood.
Is it really that important if you're going to die anyway?
I mean, you have a good point. But... And then I just think about, the choices that we have made leading up to this point. And I'm just like,
I mean,
I, for one, don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Neither do
So,
I.
love to stay out of that.
good for y'all. I mean, I decided Goblin Blood was a suitable alcoholic beverage mixer. And I got teeth from it, so I mean, not my worst choice.
I'm sure you have decided that plenty of things were suitable replacements for alcohol. Can we please keep moving?
So
I
I just
did
hope
try
that
gunpowder once. It was quite fun.
I just hope that your decisions doesn't come back to bite all of us in the ass.
I'm pretty sure that was a Rusalka. It's definitely coming back to bite us, one way or the other.
You
Well,
could
at
have
least I'm
stopped
not the
me.
only one causing problems this time.
You could have stopped me.
I know.
You didn't, so it's just as much your fault as mine. You stood at the side and let me do the stupid shit.
I let you do nothing.
You encouraged me.
I don't think you lack any encouragement in that department.
Sorry, I just read the chat.
I did
Mario.
too. God damn it.
You're all welcome.
So we have a schedule to keep. I might suggest that we continue traveling so that we can make camp a little bit further away from circular pools.
Or we could make camp in the place that was mentioned that there was a place to camp.
Yeah.
Is on it when it comes to locating the Ridgeline. As the day wears on and night begins to fall a bit, you do find the Ridgeline, and traveling up along the creek bed that was indicated, you come to a very nice little nook in the ridge that you can see in it the remains of old fires where other traveling parties have stopped to camp. And this appears to be the spot that Rothbard indicated as this comes into view.
The other travelers that are like meeting up at this campsite area, were these people that like what is the composition of these groups? Are they traders like us, or are they mostly like elves, humans? What's the general
from
like,
the indication that
makeup of the
Rothbard
crowd?
gave that from the town of Tal, the true believers of Tal, the demiurge, the
Yeah.
god of the forest, have a shrine out in the forest, a shrine village, and this appears to be the way that they travel to it.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're on like a really minor pilgrim road, essentially.
Gotcha. Okay.
So before we change anything, like before we like touch and move things at the campsite, I want to take a look around and see if I can see any like symbols or secret signs, perhaps.
Ooh, roll me a scrutinize.
And then so because of secret signs, I get another +10 to that, right?
All right, go for it.
Okay. I got a 22.
22, that's a crit success. All right, so you find several images of the demiurge around the Tal, the god, of varying iconography. There have been many renditions of Tal through the ages. Some of them trending towards similar to Kronos, the god that the Earl King also intersects with, but the like a stag with like a swirling symbol in the center of its head, which you recognize as being a very old symbol of Tal from your studies. You see some of the more recent ones. You find the twisted brambles of the Twilight Court. You find underneath one rock, just strangely, an image of the Black Lodge etched into one of the rocks. You find this appears to be something of a pilgrim's road, and that it's several religious symbols all etched into these rocks, but Tal being the most frequent. Do you all make a fire for the night?
Whew. No.
I actually think we should. But I don't think we should all go to sleep at the same time either.
Oh, never. I won't make the fire myself, but I will take first watch.
We could do that together. I have a couple things I want to ask you.
Before we get to watches, so you all make a fire, you sit down, you cook your food, and before people go to sleep, you have an evening together. What is it that you all do as you sit around this campfire in the twilight wood? The noises of the wood all around you, chirping insects. You hear the occasional howl of a wolf, and just sitting there, pushing back the darkness with your little campfire. What do you do?
I would be kind of just like poking at the fire occasionally, like with a long stick or something, and like when we hear birds or whatever, I'd be naming ones that I recognize just like out loud because I can.
Canario pulls out a metal symbol of the martyr, and with his splitting maul, just carefully starts tapping at it, bending it in certain places, and then he gets a bandage out and starts just wrapping it around his knuckles, just to fashion a little knuckle duster there. He does this kind of silently. He doesn't really make a big deal of it.
Are you hiding it?
No, he wouldn't be hiding it.
Okay.
But it's something that he wouldn't. Obviously, it's making a lot of noise, but he's. It's like business as usual to him right now.
Does anyone react to this?
I would like to donate whatever metal Winter King symbols I have left on me.
Yeah. Thank you. This.
I think he'd like you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll put him to good use. How about that?
He'd have no less.
Appreciate it.
Maeve, are
Z?
you actually like a cleric or that sort of person of the Winter King? I thought that was just an act you were putting on. Oh shit, am I not supposed to talk about this yet?
No, I'm a cleric on paper, but I'm not a devotee.
Can these people know about our arrangement?
I figured they already did.
I hadn't actually explicitly told Andy.
Arrangement?
We're not actually cousins. That was
you
playing
don't
on the
say.
thing
Oh
that we're
yeah,
both-
what a shocker.
I had honestly forgotten because that just seemed so implausible from the start.
Kanara looks up, raises an eyebrow, and just goes back to hammering.
It kept the people in the Shit, I left my stash. Fuck.
Dash of
So I'm a trader and I trade very
trader.
specific things.
I knew there was a reason why we got along so well.
And I just realized that my cart and old Betsy the fucking horse is gonna be left in that goddamn town. If they make my horse into jerky, I'm gonna kill them. All of them.
Just noticed you left your horse. Wow. Must be that goblin blood.
He's
I
just
was
sitting there,
drunk.
like kind of staring at the ground, like putting things together. Trader, stash. Are you a smuggler?
No.
Convincing. Well, it doesn't matter our professions outside of our current job at hand. We're comrades now, so
B, I handed you poison. Just casually. You're just realizing now that I might be into weird shit.
Like he said, doesn't matter what we did before we got on the road.
I know, but I bet it helps. Wow.
While we're talking, I'll have bitten into my fingers and finger painted whatever felt right onto the crow mask.
Like with your own blood?
What else am I going to use?
Holy shit, that's badass.
As you're doing this, are you just letting your hand go and drawing whatever?
I was going to do like a little mini witch site trip and just see where that took me.
I'm going to add on to this because I know we... So you're just giving yourself over to the Amber Wind as you're going for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a Incantation Test as you are channeling Witch Sight.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. So you begin to calm yourself, center yourself, and you open yourself up to the Amber Wind, which is overhead. You can feel a massive gathering of this power. It is swirling overhead. It is a huge store of amber power, so much stronger than you've ever felt before. And as you're painting with your own blood, you hear just sneaking into your head.
Soon we will meet, but not now. You have grown stronger.
And as you finish, you have drawn the same symbol that was hanging in Lord Brun's hall, the symbol of Kronos, the symbol of the Earl King.
Metal.
I feel like Agnieszka's uncharacteristically not drinking tonight and has kind of just been like watching the fire pit and just scanning the outside. I don't think that we all heard that, right? Okay, cool. Just because what I'm about to say doesn't make sense if I actually heard that. But I think with the, surgeons of the Amber Wind getting stronger throughout the forest and then mulling over what it was that the scary dryad maybe told us, she sort of takes a deep breath and begins to sing a song. Beware, my friends, look out, my lovers. Beware, my children, for darkness covers. When shadows lengthen and nights turn cold, keep careful watch along the twilight road. Your swords stay sharp, your eyes keep wakeful. The Winter King protects the faithful. Come, weary travelers, take up your load. Don't rest your head along the twilight road. There is a king, speak his name in whispers. Seek out the haven of twilight sisters. When come the hunters on winds of amber, don't lose your way along the twilight road.
That was absolutely lovely. Amazing.
Agnieszka. Quite the voice of an angel for a Grundle.
Yeah. Seems what I used to do before this turned out to be somewhat relevant after all.
Beautifully sung.
So, first watch?
Yeah, gladly.
Night is well and truly fallen as several members of the party move to sleep. Assuming everyone's okay with spotlighting these two for a moment.
Briefly, or maybe after they go off, I have a comment I want to make.
Okay. We'll say B's on
Should I-
second watch.
Well, I was gonna talk to Maeve.
Yeah, I figure B and Maeve can be on the second watch.
Okay.
Maybe with Z.
All right.
if they'd like
We'll
to.
do
Wait a
that second watch, and then Z will take last watch by the lonesome.
Since you begin out your blood and all that.
Oh boy.
What could they possibly do unsupervised?
Oh my lord. I don't know.
As everyone settles to sleep, the two longtime campaigners, Canario and Agnieszka, find yourself sitting together around a fire in the middle of the Twilight Wood. What do you say?
Canario stays quiet. He just continues working on his project. And then once he's done with that project, he moves on to preparing some bandages and whatnot.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Agnieszka's quiet for like maybe the first hour or so. When all of a sudden it'll just kind of... When you went to war, did you swear to serve under anyone in particular? Did you swear to follow some king or prince or some oath?
In my youth, we didn't quite have the luxury of knowing what we're agreeing to. I grew up a lowborn, so any way to make money was the oath we made.
And yet you became a surgeon.
Well, I mean, you spend enough time out there and you gain some proclivities towards violence and gore, and you start to stomach it, and soon enough it becomes second nature. Well, sometimes you have a knack for putting things back together, even in the midst of combat.
So you signed on as a mercenary.
I did.
For coin. No hope for glory? No hope for renown?
There's no
Not even
room
a little
for that.
bit?
When your stomach is constantly in pain, wondering where your next meal is coming from, there's no room for glory. There's no room for much else than filling it up with food. Why? What weighs you down?
I've just been thinking a lot about when I joined up originally.
Yes, my friend.
Well, I'm sure you know that we deal more in oaths and promises than in anything resembling value to humans, but I also grew up lowborn. Began running with the army of the Winter Court, really for as long as I can remember. And I remember I was still just out of being a fawn the first time I saw action. Our general had sworn to fight on behalf of the Winter Court until the winds of summer should change, and so we marched south. I was small, light, could keep a steady beat on a drum. So I went with them.
Well, you put your wonderful talents to use. Yes. It seems that you've taken pretty well to warfare, to the arts of war. You are rather skilled. I don't think that you've wasted your time here.
It's a beautiful thing in the moment, but the moment's fleeting.
Well, everyone's got to have a plan, and what's yours?
At first, I thought it was to follow the Ember Wind. We did swear to fight until the winds of summer should change.
And how's that going for you?
Well, I thought to follow the Ember Wind since it's now on the ascendant. But when we had that fight back at the town, it made me realize how much I missed it. I'm not really a wanderer, not really a student of philosophy the way that B is. I don't have any connection to the gods the way that Maeve does. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, for now you're fulfilling a job, and perhaps once this job is over, you can settle down. Why do you laugh?
That's not our way.
Nah, you say that, but I know different.
You know Grendel who've settled down?
The Fae are interesting. I've met quite a few along my way, and you'd be surprised what life brings your way. Don't discount yourself. It's what you make of it, and maybe when the time has come, you'll decide what you really want and what you can make of it.
So nice words. Good words.
And normally I charge for them, but I like you, kid.
Plus, neither of us have any money, so.
Well, not yet.
Nope.
If we ever get money after all this, seems B really threw us for a loop here.
If we ever get money out of all of this, I'm going to go so hard I'll no longer be able to tell day from night. And then I'll wake up and I'll wonder how long it's been. Maybe I'll find myself old. Maybe I'll find myself a baby again.
Yeah, well, if this job proves lucrative, I'd love to surprise my wife and my daughter with some wonderful gifts.
I didn't know you had a daughter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I spent a lot of time on the road, sadly, but so she's beautiful, smart. She can really. I think she has a chance of making it. Yeah. Mylan is her name. I think you'd get along with her. If you think I'm cool. No, never mind.
For an old man.
I've still got some moves.
Yeah, some. If she's anything like you, I'm sure she's wonderful.
Oh, she is. Well, these woods sure do have me at a bit of an unease, but that song of yours is beautiful.
Thank you. I believe the best comfort should come with a warning for how to avoid danger ahead. Or else it's just empty air.
I owe a lot of gratitude to those who've given me a heads up. I'm here now because of it, so Appreciate it.
Likewise.
And with that, he finishes up with his knuckle duster, and yeah, he shows it off. This it's an old tool I used to use in my youth. As a lowborn, affording swords and weaponry of that sort, it was tough. We used to just take whatever scrap metals we had and wrap them around our wrists and punch the daylights out of things. This one
A good way to lose an eye. I knew someone like that.
Oh, I've gained many eyes that way. This one, though, is blessed by my beautiful wife, Hune. This is she was a follower of the martyr. And, well, I'm no longer a man of faith myself, but she highly believed in it, and I'd like to think that she's with me right here.
Like a patron.
Behind every strong punch, there's a, you know. He just trails off because he doesn't know the rest of the saying.
Hopefully a well-built arm. Or else behind every strong punch there will be a shattered elbow.
Aha! I like that one.
See?
It's been a while. I should work on my form a bit, but I can hold my own.
If you ever need to practice.
Oh, what, punching you? Oh, thank you. I'll just take it on one of these trees instead. I appreciate the offer.
Just maybe, ask permission first. Just in case.
Yeah. Well, Agnieszka, how about you get some rest, we'll wake up someone else, and move on with our watches.
Yeah, we'll wake somebody up, but she does not actually sleep. Nah.
No sleep. Well, he certainly
Nope.
thinks they're going to sleep. I don't think he's caught on to that.
She's gonna pretend it, but she hasn't been drinking tonight, so she's awake.
Fair.
So, as Canario goes to sleep and Agnieszka rests without sleeping, Mabe and B are now on watch, sitting around what is now a dying fire. What do you do?
I'm gonna poke at the fire a little bit like I have been before, and I'm gonna say, I saw you painting earlier. What does it feel like?
The painting or the sight?
The magic. What does it feel like to you?
Oh, the amber wind. It's a rush. It's at that same time the sinking lead ball and the rising bile.
How long have you been able to sense it?
A long time. But this is the first time I've been able to touch it. Before it was always just there. Every now and then
At a
it came like
distance?
a biting.
At a distance?
Usually, once in a while, it would come through like the rush of a biting wind, and I could feel it in my bones for a second, and then it would go away. What's the green one feel like?
It's fresh. It's exciting. I had hoped, I had read about it and I didn't really feel like there was enough for me to use it until I came to the Twilight Road. Do you think we'll ever go back?
No.
Me neither. Will you miss it?
No, I left for a reason. Will you?
No. There's nothing left for me there. There's books everywhere. I can find books anywhere. I don't need anything back there.
Are you going to start ambushing librarian caravans?
If I can find one, who knows? Wouldn't be the first time I've stolen a book.
It'll be the boogeyman of scholars. They'll tell stories about the Twilight tree.
Oh. Yeah, they might tell stories about me. And as our conversation trails off a little bit, I'm gonna put the stick down, and I'm gonna try to just like practice playing with the fire just a little bit, just to see if I can just like move around little bits and pieces.
Are you using your Jade Wind to do this?
Yeah, magic.
Roll me an incantation test.
Okay.
This is new, so -10. You're just
Okay.
This is a new element for you.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not trying to do anything big. I'm just trying to like kind of play around with it a little bit, moving it. 37 under 42. So
37.
Nice.
So the fire begins to act as if you are essentially like blowing into the hottest part of the fire. The coals underneath, as it's like the dying fire, it's in that like nice, beautiful charcoal stage, start to pulse brighter and brighter and brighter and steadily grow back up into a low flame as you seem to have rekindled the fire over the course of a few minutes.
Cool.
Is there anything left you two would like to do on your watch, or are you going to wake up Zia?
How sturdy would you say the makeshift horns, unlike that first mask I got, are?
The first mask you got, they're made of branches. They're not particularly strong. The second one are made of slightly like better carved wood, like actually seem to be like handmade. Those are quite sturdy. Neither of them are actual antler though.
Gotcha. All right.
The first one you got was like the straight up tourist one, and like the second one was like pretty nicely made. But the one in the hall that you saw with the like that, the one with the actual antlers, that's the primo stuff, and you haven't gotten one of those.
Not yet. I want to try something. Am I locked into the amber wind, or can I try to reach a different kind of wind?
Grabbing different winds is something that you've never tried. You could attempt to, but it would be quite difficult.
I want to try it.
Okay. Which wind are you reaching for?
I think I want to try to reach into the yellow wind.
Ooh, the metal
Yeah, that's
wind.
the alchemy one, yeah?
Yeah. So you're going to roll me at a -10 for this.
Okay.
Actually, so -10 is a spell you haven't tried before. In addition to that, it's a wind you haven't tried before. It's a -20. And I need you to roll me a D6.
A D6?
Yeah.
Can I go full ham and just try to... Do I need to know the wind to channel, or...
You can, if you want to channel, you want to try to channel power?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me. How many channeling dice are you adding?
How many can I add?
You can add up to 3.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, so roll me 4d6.
Okay.
And
then
roll
3.
Yeah.
There is a 6.
Okay. Ooh.
There's a 4. There's a 1. That's a 5.
Okay, we got a 6. Roll me the incantation test. So it was a -20, but now it's a +10 because of the 3 you added. And I got to
Cool.
find the magical mishap table because I never know where this is.
Okay. For incantation, that's 11 out of like 60 something.
Oh wow! So what are you attempting to do?
I think I want to try using whatever, like, I'm going to ditch my boots. So maybe the buckles and just whatever bullshit metal I have left.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try to turn one of my apples golden.
Ooh. Well, with that roll, you do successfully transform your apple. It is it's not a pure gold. It is a bit off color. It isn't quite like full on you've created like priceless gold here. It's something more akin to like unprocessed or like ore. But the apple's weight changes in your hand. And I need to find, I seriously don't know where this is. Anna, if you can be any help on this. The
If you're looking for the chaos table.
Are you looking for the chaos? Taints of chaos?
No, it's the magical, is there a magical mishap table?
There should be. I'm looking for that right now.
I never remember where it is. Hold on.
So while you're looking,
Yep.
B's gonna watch this happen, right? Because we're both awake. I'm just gonna make a really shocked face. How did you do that? Can I see that?
I'll hold it out.
And I'm gonna try to like pick it up, just to. I mean, I'll hand it back. I just wanna look at it more closely. And I wanna look at it. And I'm assuming I'll see all the same things. And I'm gonna hand it back. Like, how did you do that?
The yellow wind.
The yellow wind. Didn't you say you were using the amber wind?
Ooh, sorry, my Zoom is being weird. Okay, I'm good. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I said the yellow wind. Didn't you say you were using the amber wind?
I did?
All right. Roll me a D100.
Ah, dope. 44?
44. Oh. As you sit here looking at this, the wind outside begins to pick up dramatically. As it almost is like a storm is approaching.
Love it.
That's it
Yeah, that's all I
for now. Do you have anything else you wish to do on your watch? All right, then. Z, you are awakened, and you are alone on watch as the wind is absolutely howling outside your little grotto. Is grotto the right word? Of where you are, as you can see the trees beginning to blow. As it appears that quite the windstorm has come in, leaves whipping by.
Great. Zia's just gonna chill at the edge of the camp and watch the winds.
Mm-hmm.
I also just realized something.
Yes.
The only vials that Zia carries are ones filled with folk bane.
So did you dump out the folk bane? I mean, if you gave the folk bane to the Fae, that wouldn't actually impact them.
Okay, probably did, but
yeah, you need to be like an actual humanoid for that to
That's good.
Yeah.
It was just one of those. I was like, oh shoot. But Zia's just gonna chill. Watch the storm that's coming.
Mm-hmm. All right. As the dawn begins to slowly break into the Twilight Wood, very, very gently, as light does not penetrate very easily into that, we are going to go to break for the next day of travel through a howling windstorm. But we will be right back for, we also still have a Bane that I intend to cash in on the second half of this. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
I'm going to say for the wonderful song that Anna gave, I'm going to give you all a boon. And you all, it's going to act as if you succeeded on the survival test in resting, and anyone who is at the imperiled tracker can move up to unimperiled.
Really?
You sleep incredibly well thanks to the song from your scald.
Oh, sweet.
And with that, we are going to head over
Thank
to
you,
break.
Anna.
We'll see you all in about 5 minutes as we all take a quick bio and refill drinks. We'll be back for some more awful dark fantasy fae bullshit that I'm going to inflict on the party.
Yes.
We are back and welcome in Raiders from Kawanomicon. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Colin. I hope you had a fantastic time talking to the designer of Monster of the Week. I will be watching that VOD once we're done here. We are in the middle of the Twilight. Y'all missed an amazing Anna song, just saying. So make sure you go back and watch that. We are at the end of our watches. The night has passed. A storm is howling outside as dawn comes. And it is time to set out following the creek to the wetlands to find the shrine village of Tall deep in the Twilight Woods. So, as you all gather yourselves to head out in the morning, I'm going to have to ask you all to, while you're moving through this windstorm, it is a magical windstorm that is just sweeping objects and things through. You are all going to be taking a -6 on everything in the perception everything in the perception set for the remainder of today.
I would just like to point out, because I think this is a fun fact, that even with that, having a third eye means that I am still more perceptive during a magical windstorm than I was when this adventure began. So don't ever try to convince me that drinking goblin blood was a bad idea.
I mean,
It was a great idea.
It was a great idea, okay?
I
I
got
see
lucky. You got lucky.
everything.
between the goblin blood and honestly this roll being one of the less bad things, y'all are rolling amazing on these chaos tables, which means I'm counting on later in the adventure one of you just instantly dying on one of these tables. I'm not looking at B, but I'm kind of side-eyeing B because that seems like the thing that would happen.
The B's built
I
different.
simply choose to not hear.
As you all begin to move out into it, Agnieszka, you attempt to find the way through, but the ground becomes very, very muddy and very, very there's a danger of sinking into the mud. So you seek firmer ground, but it is more difficult ground, moving through a huge, massive sprawl of hedges and bushes, and just generally having to wade your way through. And you all move into a section where the hedges start to become a little more uniform, not tended, just in terms of like one particular type of hedge here appears to be living, and it has beautiful blood red blossoms showing on top of them as you move through. So as you're all moving through this space, what are you all? So let's. It's the new day. It's the new morning. Is anyone doing anything as you're moving through these rather difficult hedges?
I want to try to take a closer look at the flowers.
Okay.
Me too. I would like to smell them using my special Grendel smelling, not just smell them because they look pretty.
Zia wants to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I smell it first?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're my buddy. If you die instantly from touching a flower, I'm going to be heartbroken and do something terribly stupid.
Okay.
You smell, and it smells like blood.
You're going to like this one, Z. Just, maybe start out slow and then see what your tolerance is like, and then just...
Before you eat the strange plant, I would like to do an education roll for the plant, or do I have to do a scrutinize first?
You can do an education roll to see
Okay.
if you've learned about this. Yeah, we'll make it a flat roll.
Mm-hmm.
Could I
Try-
folklore to safe to pick?
Oh, I rolled a 41 under 54, so I
So let's go with that. As you're all moving through, and by the way, this is going to be our bane, so thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
All moving through. B, you're pulling against this as it is really difficult to move through this. You're all having an incredibly hard time moving through, and you see Z pick up one of these flowers and look at them. You see Agnieszka smell it. Agnieszka, do you react to the smell at all?
I mean, does it smell like just... This is a
Smells
weird
like
question.
fresh blood.
Does it smell like straight up regular blood, or is this like, amber winds and blood? Is it just blood?
A little bit of the amber winds and blood.
Yeah, the reaction is just sort of like taking a deep inhale through the nose and then just pausing for a second before saying, I think you're going to like this one.
And as you look down, you're moving, and you remember reading about hedges that eat things. As you see the tendrils of the hedges, the reason it's so difficult to move through is that they're wrapping around all of you. I need all of you to roll athletics tests at -20. Say hi to the Bane.
Did I get to at least take a nibble?
You I don't know what blood roses do. I will have to check that. And
It just sounds like it makes you like plus 20% more emo, and that's it.
that's it's like plus 20 to all emo checks. We're creating that as a whole new attribute.
So here's the thing, is that this would have been my first success rolled all night, except for the fact that that was at a -20. So that's a fail.
Sorry, not
Again.
sorry.
Could
And
I
you literally only have yourself to blame for that one.
Yes, literally.
could I possibly try to roll an incantation check since this is plant stuff? Could I try to use my magic to get out of it?
Initially, to resist being wrapped up, you need to roll the athletics. Later, I will let you substitute into escape if you fail. Who failed?
I'm just gonna show
I
you
failed.
guys. I'm gonna post in the Discord what I rolled.
Just
Oh
There's
no!
a green room.
Oh no!
bye.
This is gonna be juicy.
I got
Going
a
in the
3.
trash.
Is that okay?
3 is
or-
excellent.
Okay.
It's 3, okay.
It's 3.
I
Okay.
wasn't sure if that was like one of the numbers, like the 55.
Oh, beautiful.
No, it's
Roll the
only
100.
doubles.
You rolled 100.
Got it.
Oh no!
Love it.
So,
I had to take a photo.
Fuck.
all right.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh.
I
this
love it.
makes me so
Oh
happy.
no.
Good shit.
So
If you kill my best friend, I will never forgive you, you stupid
I
plant.
also failed.
all right, who
I did
failed
not
normal? Who failed normal? And then
I did.
Z super
The
failed.
crit failed.
So maybe you actually, if you're to have taken a little bit of a path where you're a little bit further out, and as you start to notice them entwining you, you just kind of suddenly you put on like a little burst of speed and break free in kind of a half moment of panic, like a oh fuck sort of moment as you break free. The
Accurate
rest
reaction.
of the other 3 of you are being entwined, and you feel thorns digging into you. And you all are going to take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Z, you all see Z just stop, and you see a huge tendril come over, and Z is just sucked out of sight.
Hey, Tom Grant, I need
Yeah.
a roll for moderately wounded
Okay, roll for my.
because I was lightly wounded when a plant bit me.
I have a question.
I'm okay, not injured.
So if my damage
I also-
threshold is 3,
Oh no.
That puts you
Ooh.
at, you go down from unharmed to moderately wounded, so you need to roll me a d6.
I'm already at moderately wounded.
So you go from moderately wounded to seriously wounded to grievously wounded.
So, quick question.
So you need to roll me 3d6.
Great.
Shit.
Well, I didn't know until the doctor that we.
That's a fair point.
I'm just saying.
Uh,
We were busy having bonding time.
Did you
I
roll
didn't
any
think
sixes?
the plant was gonna eat us. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
No
sorry.
injury
I'm-
table.
currently marked lightly wounded, but I feel like I remember us moving that back up at the end.
You
Am I
did.
remembering
Yeah,
wrong?
you did move it
We
up.
did move back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You moved up.
So if my damage threshold is 2, does that mean I also
down at
go down to
moderately, yeah.
moderately wounded?
You guys are so squishy.
So
Get
roll-
behind me.
So,
Oh my god.
B rolls 1d6, Z rolls 3d6. Did you roll any sixes?
I almost did, and I had a heart attack. I rolled 4, 5, and then 3.
Woo! All right.
I rolled a
You-
1.
Okay. In addition, I need Zia. I need you to roll me a
Oh no.
a d10.
This is where I die, y'all. It was nice knowing you.
Your goblin blood can't save you
2.
now.
2. 5 peril as you cannot breathe as this has enveloped you.
This is a hedge.
Yeah, and I need you all to roll me resolve test, as this is scary. You're all gonna roll me a fear test, except Zia. Zia, you're gonna roll me a terror test. You're freaking out, so you roll me this resolve -20. Everyone else will roll me resolve -10.
Yeah, let's get the person that's failing at all the rolls to roll more.
Hey,
so,
it's scary
quick
being
question.
small.
Quick question.
Oh Lord.
What?
I actually succeeded at something. We've been playing for 2 hours and I rolled a 4. I'm not afraid.
Crit fail for Kane.
Oh,
So
no.
my
Oh no!
Yeah.
my human
50
trait is
back.
Dauntless.
Ooh.
And that means I'm immune to intimidate specifically, but does that mean I get any kind
This
of
isn't
like
intimidate. This
bump
is
for
fear.
this?
This is
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
This is so roll
So
me
just
that.
a resolve check.
Zia, roll me 3d10.
I got a 19. I'm good.
I also passed.
I also pass.
4, 3, 8.
Does 8? Ooh. So
Shit.
4, 3, 8. Does 15 beat your peril threshold?
Yeah.
Does it beat your second threshold?
What's the second one?
What's the so there's the main number in your threshold, and then there's the little numbers off to the side.
So
I only have one number. I have
So what's your
5.
number?
5.
5? So you're gonna drop 2 from you're unimperiled at the moment.
I'll drop 2 from imperiled.
Okay, so you're down.
I already dropped 1.
So you're at -2 skill ranks. So you are essentially panicking, but you're still functional at the moment.
Oh great! So,
So
I'm
when
just
you
having a panic
roll-
attack in character. It's fine.
So when you roll, you ignore any dots you have in skills right now.
Okay.
So you are underneath this hedge and you are panicking. And with that, we're going to roll initiative
Okay.
as Agnieszka keeps your head. B, did you succeed?
Yeah, I rolled a 19.
Okay,
Look at me. I
Canario,
didn't
did
even
you?
have to drink
Yes.
this time.
And Mabe, did you succeed?
I did. Do you want me to drop a one-liner because I'm using my
Yes,
gallows humor?
Do it.
Okay. I've heard of hedging your bets, but I guess you're just poor gamblers.
Oh, ooh.
Get out.
Ooh, the death hedge is immune to injuries, but if it wasn't, it would have taken some damage. It would have taken an injury from that.
If it weren't, all of its leaves would fall off in
Yeah.
shame.
All right, roll me initiative as I've rolled a. Ooh, that's bad for you guys.
What do
remind
we
me
add
when my
to the
initiative
initiative?
Initiative on your second page of your character sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
D10,
D10 plus your
3 plus perception
Oh,
bonus.
wow, I have a good initiative. Damn.
Yeah.
17.
What the fuck? How did the hedge roll the 21? It's a fucking hedge.
It's not just a hedge. It's not just a hedge.
It's not just.
Evidently.
It's their death.
All right, so that actually worked out really well in chat. We actually typed them in order.
Almost.
Almost, yeah.
My fault.
Gosh,
To type
just
in.
gotta throw the wrench in, don't you? So the hedge has Z in its grasp.
I get to go first.
Z gets to
Oh,
go
yeah.
first because you're a smuggler. Oh, all right. So Hans shot first. Thank
Yeah.
you for reminding me. What do you do?
Um,
You can attempt to break free with a. You can attempt to break free from this swallow with a toughness test, or a. Yeah, you can attempt a toughness test to break free.
Could I just start punching it?
Yes, but there'd be
Or trying to bite
penalties.
it?
I'd say a
I'm gonna
bite.
try and eat it.
Ooh, you're gonna just go full feral on this?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So as a question, how do you want to use any attributes in this? Does your new profession come into play at all?
It might. I don't really know. The one thing I don't know is what I have to do to charge.
Oh, charging is a movement thing.
Yeah, you spend 2 AP to charge, but anybody can do that.
Yeah.
No, I've got a thing that when I charge, I get a plus 20 base chance to strike.
Oh, to strength. Roll me. Ooh.
Scared to roll anything.
Ooh. I'm trying to think what the proper skill is for this to see if you can like work yourself up without making a charge.
Oh, I do actually. No, I inflict more damage because I'm grievously wounded.
Oh. All right, go.
Nice.
So roll me that bite check, and I'm gonna say that since you're biting, I'm gonna say it's a flat test.
Okay. I'm terrified. I'm going to use a fortune point because I just remembered those exist.
Fortune point number 2 being spent. Roll again.
Got worse.
Oh no!
I rolled a 64 over 46. It wasn't a crit. I'm not critting, it's fine.
Oh no. So that's your first AP to bite on this as you try to bite at it, but you can't find an angle to it. Would you like to spend AP to roll a toughness test to try to break free?
Yeah, sure.
Roll me a toughness test.
This is going to go poorly. under 43.
40?
40 under 43.
So 40?
Yeah.
You're so lucky because I just looked at this and it says that you have to flip to fail, but a flip to fail would make it a 4. So you succeed. As panicking, trying to bite, you move and one of the hedges, it bites into you and the blood starts running out, but it gives. And you're able to claw your way back to the surface, able to breathe. You all see Z bloody, moving frantically, but back on top of the hedge. Woo! You have broken free of it. Because that's really good, because that smuggler thing saved you, because it was going to eat you.
Yeah.
Well.
It's still fucking me.
You have 1 AP. I'm going to say you have 1 AP left. Do you want to move away from the hedge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Zia stumbling out. You are still imperiled, but stumbling out. Now, it's the hedge's turn, and I believe it still has B in its grasp, doesn't it? B failed the athletics test. Agnieszka failed, and Canario failed. I'm gonna ask all of you to roll me toughness tests.
Why does it get to attack all of us?
Because it's sucking.
Is there a modifier for this again?
No, this is a flat test.
And you said toughness?
Mm-hmm.
A what test? I'm sorry.
Toughness.
No. What's the modifier?
0.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
36
toughness.
out of 41.
36 out of 41. All right.
Ooh, I made it by
87.
1. I succeeded.
87 out of 38.
Oh, no. Well, the 2 of you managed to pull free. You see B pulled under. Oh, B, I rolled 2 1s. Oh, B, I rolled 2 1s. You only take 6 damage. So that's going to drop you down to 1 more slider. So you're at
Seriously wounded.
roll me 2d6.
If it'll let me tap the thingy so I can remember. Okay. I rolled a 2 and a 1.
A 2 and a 1. You're good then. And you are going to take 7 peril as you cannot breathe, as it is it's crushing you, and you're having difficulty breathing.
So my peril threshold is 8.
You are successfully just managing to raise your shoulders breathing. You can't expand out, but you're doing that little, and it feels like you're breathing through a straw, but you're breathing. And you are managing to keep your head in this moment, as that is this creature's turn. now, who was next? Sorry, who is next? I believe it was Canario is next.
No.
No? Oh no, we have two
Maeve.
17s. Hold on.
Yep. Maeve and Enzia.
All right, let's go to our two people that are out of the death hedge. What would the two of you like to do? I'm going to start with Maeve, since Maeve is the one who wasn't in there and isn't covered in Fail and blood.
So this hedge, I guess from what I know or would have seen, is basically trying to suck out their blood.
It's trying to eat them whole.
Okay. All right, Heckin' Hedge. We're gonna channel again.
All right, what are you channeling?
I would like to try to channel something to make it wither. Is there like some winter cold shit I can try?
Not that you know of. Though you could, the Flock of Doom could be, or I forget what it's called in this system.
Feast of Crows. I mean, now it's the Flock of Doom.
Yeah, no, Flock of Doom is the trademarked Warhammer name.
That eerily similar to, but legally enough distinct from.
Yes, we want the legally distinct Feast of Crows spell. That could be easily reflavored to some sort of other animal that could be damaging to. You're gonna have like just a swarm of what are the little green?
Ooh, locusts.
Green... Oh, I was going even smaller, like the little green fuckers who just eat plants.
Yeah, whatever those are.
Yeah,
something that eats plants.
Aphids.
Aphids.
Just descend on this.
Aphids.
Roll me an incantation test at -10 as you are under
-10,
stress in
cool.
combat.
-10. Where's my incantationals?
Should be an intelligence.
Okay, yeah, that makes it. That's like, or wait, is each dot I have in an intelligence skill like a +10 or?
No, it's only in an incantation. That gives
only
you
for incantation.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not even. That's willpower. Okay. I do not make it. That is a 63 over 53.
Okay. It was a 63?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a d6 real quick, as the amber wind is
6.
Is this? Oh, all right. We'll come back to that. As you channel the wind and you direct it and you feel it scatter.
No.
You don't know what has happened, but it has not. It has not done what you asked it to do.
Oh no.
It's because I didn't spill any blood. That's why. I've learned my lesson now.
Right? Roll me a D100 on the side and send me the results. It is now Z's turn.
So taking a leaf out of my own book from the first fight that we had with plant-based things, can I try and set it on fire with black powder and like the flintlock?
You can.
It's bad life choices, but that'd be all we
I'm
have.
sorry, you're gonna set the thing on fire that I'm still inside of?
I'm gonna set part of it on fire.
Okay, just checking.
It didn't work well the first time. It just kind of shocked it.
What'd you roll?
I've not rolled it yet. I just realized how bad it is.
Roll me a martial ranged to yeah, go for it.
23 under 46.
So roll me damage for a pistol shot and add me in addition to that, roll your damage and then we're gonna add to it because this thing does not like fire.
Yes. So I have one. My pistol shot's just 1d6, isn't it?
1d6 plus your combat bonus.
Oh yeah. 2d6. And it's not a melee weapon. Okay. No. It exploded.
Ooh, do it again.
6, 3,
Ooh.
9, 4, 13, 18.
18. Roll me a
damage?
d10.
3.
3. So 18 plus 4 brings it to a 22. Oh, that was so close. As it, oh, let me roll some d6s too. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you lay down some gun. Actually, you please describe how you set this thing on fire.
Zia's pissed off. Yeah, goes into their pocket and like flicks out the gunpowder, but doesn't try to like powder over, just flicks it, because if things are in powdered form and they're flying, they go on fire a lot better than when they're in a pile of powder. Welcome to chemistry. Genuine chemistry. And then they're gonna like flick the flintlock so that then it sparks, and basically it's like a little puff of fire. It's Zia's own magic fire.
Magic fire indeed, as it spreads very quickly, and there is a creaking wail that goes up from this as it begins to retract from the fire. It is actively fleeing and wilting before this flame as the fire begins to grow. And I'm going to leave initiative at this point, because at this point, the hedge is technically dead as Z one-shotted it. But B is still contained within it as it's beginning to burn.
Me on fire.
But B, I'm going to say that you can take your action. What would you like to do to attempt to escape this fire?
Well, I was gonna try setting on fire myself. So I'm still like inside.
It's no longer compressing you. It is like it's eased its grip on you, but you can feel heat and you can smell smoke spreading, and you know fire is coming.
Okay, so how many AP does it? Can I, if I tried to do a spell and then it doesn't work, would I still be able to try to like?
What spell are you attempting?
Wriggle out of it? Well, I was just gonna try to focus on what I did with the fire from the previous night and like push it away from me.
That would be an arcane spell, so that would be 2 AP to cast.
Okay.
And if you want to channel, that would be all 3 of your AP.
Okay.
Channeling it will make it
one
flat.
AP enough to try to get out of it later?
Potentially. You also have some allies there that could help if you don't get out, because
That's true.
Canario is there in Party Dad is there to potentially help.
But he's also still tied up.
I thought you got away on the last test. No?
That was to get away?
Yeah,
Okay.
You resisted its attempt to pull you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not sucked in. It hasn't eaten you.
Okay.
You're not underneath it. You're not under the water line, basically.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so I'm the only one in this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna channel.
All right. So
Push the fire.
roll me a flat incantation test, and you're gonna try to push the fire away.
And how many if it was a flat roll, would it be at -10?
No,
without
flats
channeling?
plus -0.
So without channeling, would it be a flat roll?
Oh no, it'd be -10.
Okay, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use 2 of my channeling.
Ooh, so to get that extra AP, you need to use a fortune point, but you can do that.
Oh, then I guess I'll just go with 1. Okay.
No, by all means, use a fortune point. We got 3 of them left.
I'm gonna save my fortune point.
Okay.
For later.
Okay.
Okay, so since I'm using one of the chaos dice, it's gonna be a flat roll, right? Okay.
Oh. All right. So, right. Don't worry, Mabe. I didn't forget about you.
I can use a fortune point to re-roll.
You can use a fortune point to re-roll.
All right, glad I saved it. I'm gonna re-roll.
Did you roll a critical fail? Did you roll doubles?
It was not a critical fail, no.
Okay, yeah, then go ahead and roll.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I did that because I rolled 40 under 42 the second time.
So, what do you do to the fire to stop it from getting to you?
I am gonna kind of do the opposite of what I did last night at the fire, and instead of like breathing more heat into it, I'm gonna like try to push it all into itself and like puff, like just like go away, like puff into a little smoke and be gone.
So as the fire dies, or I'm sorry, as the hedge dies, the fire suddenly runs out of energy and begins to turn to just a smoldering set of plants, as if it. Roll me a D100. It smolders out. Canario, I'm going to say that you see B first. B underneath all of this mass of plant, just sitting there looking victorious, having channeled this energy. Mm-hmm. As you're all doing that, what do you do, Canario?
I imagine that is she still like stuck in there, or are they just gone?
She doesn't have any AP left to get up, so she's literally laying entangled in these dead branches.
Yeah, so he's gonna go ahead and just rip off the entanglement there and then just like lift her up.
I will get to you in a second, so go ahead and RP this while I figure out what horrible thing just happened to you.
So after you lift me up out of it, I kind of like push myself forward and like brush off the dust and say, I had it under control.
Clearly. Are you all right though? Any scratch? And he like gives B like a once over to see if there's any like wounds or whatnot to tend to.
And I am seriously wounded, so you would find me pretty beaten up.
We'll have to get that patched up quickly. It looks like it could get infected there. How's everyone else?
Zia's sitting on the floor, just bleeding, like, I'm good.
Babe.
Yes.
You hear that cry of how is everyone else, and you come back to consciousness laying on your back. The last thing you remember casting that spell and being smashed by a wave of energy that just flew back into your face. And you are just one massive bruise at the moment.
No.
Your brawn is currently at a -6, like just generally. This is temporary. You'll sleep it off, but your brawn is reduced by a -6. Your damage threshold comes down as you are just one massive contusion.
Oh my gosh, my damage threshold. Okay.
It seems that I'm gonna have a lot of work today.
B, when you come out of the hedge and you go to take a step, the entire world spins and you fall to the ground as you are just physically drained from the pure effort of magic. You are being struck. You are aware of this effect. This is known as the Withering. This is a extreme exhaustion that comes over people, and your combat is reduced by 6% for the rest of the day, and you are just bone tired at this moment.
Somehow the biggest threat to the squishy casters is the casters themselves.
This is not lost on me.
Welcome. There are no spell slots. You're just playing with fire.
I have a really important question.
Mm-hmm.
Did Zia manage to save the rose that she had originally taken off of them?
Yes, you have one blood rose.
He's gonna start picking up petals and eating them.
Hold on.
Oh shit.
Let me see what a blood rose does. Because
Like-
there.
Borderline B is like borderline passed out on the ground, and she looks up just enough to see and be like, "Are you stupid?"
Yes, apparently.
Maeve's just laying there with something eerily similar to, but legally distinct enough from the BoJack theme, just playing in the background.
All right, I've got my heal dice on the ready.
Yes, you may go ahead and treat whoever you wish to treat.
I'm gonna take my time to make an extended test.
Okay.
That's fine. I have determination, so.
All right. What does
I'll use
determination do for that?
When you attempt an extended test, take your time. You gain an additional +10 base chance to your skill test.
Yeah, take that +10 as you are gonna you guys are gonna stay here for an extended period of time. You're losing a portion of the day here.
Ooh, so my heal is now set up to 75. I got 2. I got two double zeros and a number 2.
So that is treated as a crit success for you.
Never
And you're
had
doing that. Who are you doing this to?
B.
B.
Starting with B first.
B, what is your damage at? Serious? You move up to light. As Canario very professionally and very promptly patches your wounds.
And then can I move down the line? I believe Zaya was next.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Uh-oh.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. So that is also a critical success. So Z moves up 2. You move up 2 trackers on this. So you are now moderately wounded.
Yay! I'm not dying anymore.
I don't know how you guys didn't roll injuries during all that. I'm a little offended, but I suppose we rolled plenty of manifestations, so that balance.
I was like, I mean,
can't you guys roll?
It's gonna
all
get
of
gross
the,
here in a second. So
Can't you guys roll all of the 6s just for
Injury,
me?
chaos,
I-
manifestation.
As he tends to their wounds, he once he's done, he looks over at Maeve and over at Agnieszka. Is like, any of you?
Agnieszka has just finished consuming an ampule of laudanum and is as such now just lightly wounded. I'm good. Might need somebody to take over for me for tonight, though. This usually does not translate to a good night's rest.
Heard. Maeve?
My ego and mortal coil are bruised, but nothing more.
Well, that does it then. My job here is done. So what's for dinner?
It is now about midday. You were only moving for a little bit. Z, you are chomping away on this blood rose. Nothing seems to happen at first. Don't worry. We'll get there. It is at this point, B, you still maintain the course, pointing the direction, leading, and you detecting the slight variations in the ground are able to lead a slightly uphill course until in between the trees, you can make out what appears to be a small village. Houses in between the trees. There is no clearing. Some of them are built literally around the trees. There appear to be a few built up in the trees with rope ladders hanging down. These appear to be crude wooden structures or hide structures. And you can see a few figures moving between these villages. You are out on the outskirts of the village of the Shrine of Tal. What would you like to do?
Just march on in.
Yeah. As you march in, several figures stop and look at you. You move between the houses. They are, again, you see iconography on the side of them. all of them bear the same antlered masks that you saw in the village of Tald, though these seem much older and much more well-made, more akin to the mask that Mabe carries. You see Idolatry of Tall, very similar to what you saw in the campsite, particularly the old one with the antlers and the swirling symbol moving around. One of the villagers stops and looks all of you up and down and says, Rothbard said you would come. He awaits you in the hut, and he points at a yurt made of hide sitting in the center of it. You see smoke coming out of a hole cut in the top. He arrived a little while ago. He awaits you.
So let's go.
You push aside, and in this yurt is the floor is covered in furs. It's actually quite comfortable as you move through, and there appears to be some chairs and things set up. There's a fire in the center of the room that appears to have some sort of herb thrown on it that's creating a pleasant smoke. In the back of the room, sitting on a wooden chair, is the well-built, bearded figure of Rothbard, the Amber Wind Magister of these woods. He is dispensed with the headpiece. He is sitting there with long black hair and very cutting green eyes staring at all of you as he says, Good, you have arrived. You've arrived. I trust the travel is not too... And he looks at Zia, arduous. And his gaze lingers on Zia for a little bit longer in that sort of... He's noticing something about you. You assume it's probably just the myriad of cuts that you sustained.
A bush tried to eat us. That was fun.
Yes, the forest is quite dangerous. Though you all seem to have survived well enough. May I please sit. We must discuss.
B is gonna just immediately plop down crisscross applesauce, and she's gonna pull one of the notebooks out of her bag and a writing utensil, ready for class.
Tell me of your encounter with the White Stag. What happened? As best as you can remember. Not everyone.
Is he asking anyone specifically, or
no?
just in
He's
general?
Asking generally of you.
Okay.
He might not be asking specifically, but I'm gonna look directly at Mabe.
Me too.
3.
And 4.
They all
under the wagon.
They all gaze at you. Tell me, what do you know of the White Stag?
I'll take off my mask. The sight let me off the road. Some sort of lights and a voice. And then we were ambushed by some of the fair folk, red caps and trees. As everyone else was being taken, the White Stag appeared. And told
The
us
red
to
caps
run.
and the trees acted in concert.
Some saplings and the red caps, some trees were attempting to dismantle the situation, but then were... What's the word?
Overruled.
Overruled, yes.
Overruled, yes.
There seems to be some dispute about who is actually in charge of the creatures of these forests.
Yes, the Fae.
The Redcaps spoke of a newcomer.
I have heard this name as well. The Fae are
Then
out of
perhaps you
balance. The Fae are out of balance. They The newcomer brings a new court to these woods, attempting to usurp the Twilight Sisters. It is not something I've ever seen before. Perhaps, have you ever heard of any of this in your time living amongst the Dominion of Winter? Do you know...
Nope, since I came back to the woods.
Do any of you...
I've been away for a long time.
The newcomer has disturbing powers. Bothersome. I have seen Grendel, who were slain, rise again. I have seen spirits moving through the forest, etheric, but able to cause harm. It is magic that is thought to be eradicated. It's bothersome. And the trees do not seem to know who to support. I assume it was one of the elder trees who spoke on your behalf and was then overruled.
A white oak.
It was.
Yes. The older trees have been standing aside of late, and we are not sure why. The leader of the trees, Pale Oak, has a sworn loyalty to the Twilight Sisters, and yet the old tree folk stand aside, and we do not know the explanation for this. What happened with the white stag? When did the white stag appear?
It appeared as we were being overtaken by some redcaps and younger tree folk.
And what did the white stag do?
What did he do? I don't remember. Did he use some kind of like light, I guess?
He spoke to you and told you to run. And that he would deal with these like piddly minions, essentially.
And so that was what we did.
Well, does Mabe...
You didn't say this to me, but...
Yeah, does Mabe communicate that the white stag spoke to Faye?
Yeah, well, I think I let it slip before that he told us to run.
Okay. The white stag speaks to you. Do any of you, the rest of you, hear this voice, or is it just you? Interesting.
I believe I saw it, but I don't think I heard it. I could be remembering that wrong, though.
Rothbard gestures at one of the masks hanging in the hall. Says, "It is nearly time for the wild hunt. The energies gather. The amber wind is in uproar at the moment. But the Earl King does not appear to focus them to take on the mantle of the wild hunt. It is unusual. The energy persists unfocused, diffusing into the forest, causing creatures to become more aggressive. As the newcomer seeks out the Earl King for some reason. Everything is thrown out of balance, and there's only one course that we can take. We must speak to the Twilight Court. We must go to the Twilight Sisters and determine what is happening. And I fear, with the turning to Mabe, but glancing over all of you, with the white stag having shown you all favor, I fear this task must fall to you. You all are caught up in this somehow. I do not understand how yet.
Does this job pay?
Not in money, in life, in blood, and other rewards. You are caught up in Fey business, son. I don't know how to tell you anything else.
Well, that doesn't quite feed my my wife, my daughter. So I think I need to get myself out of here.
Well, he sits back and eyes you. Make a bargain check with that. You're attempting to get him to pay you, yes? You're doing that? Yeah. Make a bargain check.
Ooh, that's a failure. 93 out of 49.
93. He says, you will not survive more than 10 yards into the forest by yourself. This is an incredibly dangerous time. If you wish to leave this forest and see your family again, this will need to be resolved. I fear what could happen with this amount of energy flying about at the moment. The Amber Wind is unstable. If a creature as powerful as the newcomer could harness it, terrible things could be wrought.
Some more of this Fae bullshit.
Indeed. Says, I inherited my position from my predecessor, and I inherited the stewardship of the agreement, and it has been naught but Fae bullshit, as you put it so eloquently.
Well, if this is how it has to be, then it shall be.
He turns to look at Agnieszka and says, what brings you two here? You are one of the Fae folk. Do you not stand with the armies of winter?
I did. Until the winds of summer changed is when I swore to stand my ground.
You marched south, did you not? You took the oath of season of war and fought the Summer Ladies' forces, did you not?
For many years, I did.
And now you stand unsworn here before us? And he indicates, like, pointing at your forehead and says, and that, where did that third eye come from?
Nowhere.
People are careless when it comes to spilling blood in this forest. People who don't know what that entails, what it means.
It is said that the Mother of Winter carried a third eye upon her forehead, that she could see the sight beyond sight. It seems winter favors you. Come now. Do you have any further questions for me? This has been a rather lot. You all have traveled far. I would give you a place to rest, and he turns to look at a few of you, and perhaps some day or two, as some of you look unwell. And he turns to look at Z and goes, you look rather sickly, a little green. You notice that you're getting a slight discoloration.
That's new.
Well, I give you, the village will not harm you, or everyone in the village will welcome you as one of their own. You may sleep here in this area. He indicates like all the furs thrown around. Though it is midday, you may move about. He says, I would prefer a moment, and he points at B and Mabe, with you two. I wish to discuss your particular talents. But, pointing at Canario, Zia, and Agnieszka, I do not wish to leave you wondering anything. Unless you have any questions for me, you may rest, relax, grab a bite to eat. Is there anything that you require?
I have a slight question.
I have one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll start with Zia and go to Agnieszka.
Do you have any Fae blood?
No.
Not this again.
No.
Shut up, Canario.
That's... What have you been doing?
Exactly. Exactly. It's weird, right?
This
It's
is,
weird.
This is not,
It's
this
weird.
is not your place. No. I've been doing nothing.
I don't believe you, but fine. Good. Okay. You.
I'm gonna go now.
Tiptoe away.
Agnieszka, what do you desire?
What does it take to secure an audience with the Twilight Sisters?
Their interest, and I think the mark of the white stag upon you will draw their attention. I have only stood before them once. I do not know if they would see me in this time of turmoil, but you all, I think you all would prove quite intriguing to them.
All right, then.
Very good. Go, eat, rest. We shall set out again in the morning. Well, you all shall set out again in the morning. I shall show you the way, but I think this course is yours to walk. You two, remain. I wish to speak to you.
Back when he said, I wish to speak to you of your talents, on the word talents be, like, sits up a little bit straighter.
Rothbard gets off the chair and sits down on the furs for the two of you, looking at both of you, and he looks first at Maeve and says, have you received any schooling in the winds of magic, the etheric winds?
Just bits and bobs.
It is fortunate that I have found you then, and not one of the inquisitors or less open-minded of my folk. For those who dabble in the winds are often burned at the stake. He turns to be you. He looks down at the book. You have a slightly more formal training. Where did you get that book from?
Doesn't matter where I got it. What matters is that I have it.
Does the Collegiate Arcanum of Middenheim miss that book?
Let's just say anyone who misses it too badly is sleeping with the logs.
It's... If they wish to maintain that sort of knowledge, they shouldn't lock it away. I have very little patience for those who sit in gilded halls and study books and not apply the power they have. I'd much rather it be in the hands of someone looking to do something than in the hands of someone looking to tend to a library. Do you two know the origin?
Looks like we're on the same page.
Yes. He turns to Maeve and says, the etheric winds are not of this world. They are from the etheric realm. They are from the other realm, the world of the Fae, the abyssal princes, and all that is unearthly. If it were to cross over, it would be immediately corruptive and fatal to those of the material plane. It crosses through the great gates, which break it into the winds. The winds align themselves to a multitude of already existing powers. The drive of animals to hunt, for instance, or the elements that give life. There's the wind of metal, the wind of fire, the wind of... well, there are many winds. Those who study them can learn to harness them safely. Misuse them, and you can bring about great ruin to yourself and that around you. If you master the winds and pursue and properly present yourself, you can become a registered magister of a particular wind. Those of great talent can occasionally dabble in two. He turns to look at B and goes, I have some experience in the Jade Wind, so I may potentially be able to assist you in your journey. He turns back to Maeve, though I am a magister of the Amber Wind, which you seem to show great talent for. Occasionally, there is a great mage that can, over many years, harness all of the winds and combine them into the Silver Wind. This is a rare talent and is only achieved after mastering one wind at a time. beware, for grabbing multiple winds at once can lead down the path to dark magic, and you will lose yourself very quickly to this. Properly used, the winds have many benefits. Power, extending your life. You will live 50 to 100 years longer than your fellows if you properly use these winds. I myself am, and he looks approximately like in his mid-40s at this point when he says this. I myself am pushing almost 90 years at this point. It is a long and arduous path that you walk, but one with great potential reward, but great, great danger. Many is that has fallen to the whispers of power. You lose yourself and you become something unearthly. I've seen myself the damage that a full-blown magister falling to the whims of the abyssal princes can cause. I warn you that anyone who has come to the position of magister has seen the damage that can be caused and will end you themselves if they see you walking that road. But you've shown talent and you have come this far. Tell me, what have you achieved in terms of this? And he turns to look at B. B, what have you managed to channel the wind to accomplish?
I'm gonna pull the olives. I have them in a little jar. There's 2 or 3 left. I'm gonna hold it up and say, I made these. I planted one of them and it turned back into a tree.
Really?
Yes, really.
Was this the first channeling of a wind you have successfully done?
Yeah, first or second-ish, give or take.
The creation of new life through the Jade Wind is a very positive sign. That is, you have some talent. We'll say that. How does it feel when the Jade Wind comes across you? What do you sense? How do you perceive it?
Feels alive, refreshing, like a fountain.
Very good. Turns to Mabe. Mabe, you walk a path similar to my own. What have you achieved with the Amber Wind?
I'll hold up the mask close enough that he can be able to see it, and I'll just let him know I can command murders and conspiracies.
You summon creatures to fight for you?
Flocks.
Very good. Very, very good. I will be able to work with both of you. What do you feel when you touch the Amber Wind?
It's a rush. It's like the pin needles of a frozen limb, but everywhere and moving.
Very good. Well, unfortunately for the two of you, you do not have the run of the town today. We are going to stay, and we are going to work on a few things. And it is at this point that I'm going to say that the two of you can... so how many spells within your winds do you have currently? Both of you have one?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever officially took one because you said you were going to work it in.
Okay, so this is at the point where B can officially take the Elementalist. And you are going to be able to take, we're going to say 2 spells in the Elementalist category, whichever ones you're feeling like you can look through. They have to be the lesser spells, or we'll go off what's in the book. We'll do that off stream. I will say with our closing for tonight, as the lessons conclude and the day of magic, channeling the winds, learning to alter and form them, as Mabe, you begin to work with the Amber Wind, and you are working with a true master amongst the mortals. Rothbard has been at his craft for 50 years at least, and is able to show you how he transformed into a raven to arrive before you. He's able to show you how to manipulate the wind to turn. He turns his hands into claws to slash open like tree trunks like in front of you. He demonstrates many different versions of power, and as he's doing so, a voice creeps into your head.
He is like a child playing with power he doesn't understand. Find me, and I will show you the true nature of the Amber Wind.
And that is where we're going to end it tonight. So, we're going to go around and check in on everyone, see how we're all doing. We had a very nice kind of exploratory, everyone kind of chatting, hey, having a good time, and then almost getting eaten by a bush episode. So let's start with Julio. How are you doing? How's Canario doing? And where can we find more of you?
I'm doing well, personally. I'm enjoying the game. Canario, not so much. I think we've all come to the conclusion that he's too old for this shit, and he just wants to like get this done and over with, and get back to getting paid. As for Julio, you can find me at Everybody Crits on Twitter, where I run, or on Twitch also, where I run an X-Men AU game using Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition, and you can find my personal self at Poppy Chomploo. I'm all over the internet. Come and find me.
Outstanding. Moving on down. Velvet, where can we find more of you, and how's Maeve doing after getting a little chat in your head going?
Maeve's doing great. Hopefully
Fair
it
enough.
gets even better. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Thank you. Also. I was gonna give you that apple, but now I'm not gonna.
Where can we find more of you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar. You can also find me on the X Millennials game with the lovely Julio, our party dad. And yeah, I'm around.
Excellent. Kelsey, how are you doing? How's B doing after almost getting eaten by a hedge?
I'm doing great. I don't feel like I caused enough problems this round, so I think I'm gonna bank some of those problems for next time.
Oh, don't worry. We're going easy. We're going easy this game. We're going easy on this game. Just a little nice, easy RP sort of game where we almost kill a character. No big deal.
B is doing pretty good. She's a little beat up. She's a little jealous that her new friend gets a special teacher, and she has a teacher that can help her, but not quite as much. She's a little jealous, a little jaded, you might say.
Ooh. How you feeling about that career goal that I gave you? Looking at that silver wind sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Right? Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm Kelsey. I have been totally Harper this evening. You can find me on Twitter as @crochet_baby. And you can find me on Twitch and TikTok as crotchety old woman. I do lots of stuff on TikTok. All I do on Twitch is this and be a chat gremlin. So I'm having lots of fun.
Outstanding. Moving on over to Faye. Faye, how are you doing? How is Z doing? As things are happening to Z.
I'm going to start making a list of different Fae creatures just to get a bit of their blood. Look, this experiment's going great. Party Dad's gonna probably ground Zia or murder her. Then, sorry.
Well, if anyone's gonna ground someone.
Oh.
Well, if anyone's gonna ground anything, it's gonna be the Party Dad.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure at this point you're all grounded.
Yeah, everyone's. Yeah. No fun for anybody.
Nah, I just need to find the next thing that tries to kill us and then eat it.
Well, don't you worry. Things are in motion, and I'm going to be really interested to see where Zia ends up on this one.
There's plenty of things to kill us.
There's plenty of things to try to eat Zia that then can be eaten by Zia.
Yeah.
So,
And if you guys want to see more of me, I have my own Twitch channel, which is Almost Faye, and I will hopefully be doing some Monster of the Week over on there in a little bit, with possibly people that are in this wonderful game, and possibly more surprises to be announced eventually.
all right. Excellent. Moving on up to Anna. Anna, where can we find more of you, and how is Agnieszka doing? Let's start with that. How's
Agnieszka's gonna have a rough night because they have the sour stomach drawback. So after ingesting laudanum or anything considered to be hard on your stomach, gonna have a bad time. And mercifully, both Twitch TOS and my own personal sensibilities prevent me from making realistic puking noises on the internet. So we're not going to do that. You can use your imaginations, but she's not having fun. As for me, what? Oh, I thought you were saying like, wait a second.
No, I was saying
but never
thank you
mind.
for not making
It was
noises.
just. Oh, yeah, God, no. Like,
Yeah, no,
we all know how horrible that is. You don't need it to be realistic to know it's bad. As for me, I am Anna. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Nymeria941. I do have a fun kind of little time-sensitive thing that's ending tonight, which is that I am going to be working with Jasper's Game Day, which is an amazing organization that fights teen suicide and gives teens mental health resources that they need, especially during the global pandemic, everything nonsense times. And I'm going to be GMing a Zweihander game to raise money for them. So there are 2 seats that are available and open for public auction at that game. It's in my pinned tweet, so if you go follow my Twitter account, you'll be able to find it there. So you can bid for the chance to play a game with me, a Zweihander game. It's beginner friendly. All like levels of play and interest, etc., are welcome. But I believe that the bidding for that ends either tonight or tomorrow. So if you're interested, make sure to go ahead and jump on that. In addition to Twilight Road, today is my doubleheader day. So this time next week, but earlier on Fridays, I play in a Lancer game over on Valdrian's channel. Very different character. A very like nervous sniper type person who is now riding around in a mech because that's how this game works. I'm learning so much about anime from this. I don't know anything about anime except for what I've learned from this game. And I'm like, wow, y'all are really having a wild time out there. On Monday, I'm going to be back on Kalanomacon's channel in a game of Estate, which is this sort of Victorian cyberpunk game. It's my favorite game. I love it so much. I love being Jane, the ghost fighter. She's fantastic. And then like a little bit distant future projects, as in like 2 weeks in the distant future, I will be playing in a game of Black Void on Weave the Tale, as well as GMing a game of Parslings there. So if you want to watch me be a sword mom in space or a GM game about people that have weird, cool word parasites living in their brains, check out Weave the Tale. It's going to be a really great season, and those are just 2 of the many, many, many amazing shows that are coming up there this spring. And that's me.
So real quick, I know that was a lot of stuff, but don't forget, go sign up and try to play a game with Anna with Zweihander. Playing with Anna is really fun, and you all should try to get a game with Anna. So jump onto that. Faye, did you want to mention something?
Yeah, I didn't know that I was allowed to talk about this.
Go for it.
But
I have no standing with Weave the Tale at all to tell you that you're qualified to go for it.
I didn't know either, but I double and triple checked, and yes, we are now allowed to talk about it because I was like, wait a second, I think I'm right about this. Am I? Yes.
Go for it.
What you gonna be on?
I am going to be on Weave the Tale on Thursdays at what time is it? 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mora, which is it's going to be basically TTRPG Hogwarts sort of thing, but at college. I think. It's gonna be a thing, but yeah.
I didn't know you were in that, and now I'm like 1,000 times even more excited to watch it.
I'm so excited for it.
I'm imagining, having seen you play the shenanigans you're going to get up to at Magic College, the things that your character is going to drink.
Oh God. Panario's gonna have to like step in there and say, "Stop it."
Panaro materializes.
Panario's the RA.
Yeah, it just materializes out
The
of
RA that's like, what are you doing in there? I smell smoke.
Is it bad that I had an RA one time because UK schools don't have them? However, I was exempt from all the rules that the RA had to follow because I was a senior student, but I was the same age as half of the first years, which was great.
Nice.
Got away with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm Tom TP Grant. I'm not streaming anywhere. Currently, Critical Misses is my home, and this is my only stream. So please come back here on Fridays. I'm loving this game, and I'm loving this crew. This is so fantastic. We are going to go raid Savvy over on G Game Nights. So stick with us as we go over and say hi to Savvy, and we'll see you all back here on Friday night next week as we are going beyond the Twilight Road.